Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slang Hope. I got another video for y'all. So apparently Rondo dropped his flag. He's no longer a rolling 60s crip, right? So I just wanted to make a video about this because I commend him for doing that, right? Real niggas leave gangs. You know what I'm saying? That's the hashtag. So if y'all see that out there, I started that. Real niggas leave gangs, you heard? So I commend them for that. But before I even get into the video, make sure you give a thumbs up to my content. If you like it, share it. Don't be stingy with the information. Other people might benefit from this. And subscribe to the channel, man, if you like my content. So boom, earlier today, like about a few hours ago, Quando Rondo posted on his story that he is no longer neighborhood, right? And he expressed basically in few details that, you know, why he kind of like did it for the most part. So I'm gonna read. Listen, pardon my reading. You know what I'm saying? Some of the word the brother wrote this a little, you know, a little too bunched up. So I'm trying to give it some justice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna put it up here for those of y'all who want to read on y'all. Okay. So it says, I'm not jumping out the gang either. Ain't no loyalty in this shit. I'm my own man. I lay my flag down. I'm not neighborhood. Y'all ain't gonna ride for a nigga for real. It's no sense of me being a part of y'all shit. Y'all fuck with the opposition. I don't give a fuck who feel hurt. Fuck you. And if you can't feel where I'm coming from on this, you a bitch ass nigga. Cause it don't take rocket science to see what the fuck going on. Everybody already hate me. I ain't tripping on the extra hate. I'm about to focus on my family, the ones who gonna really drop a tear if I die. Now, he said, aside from his spelling, the brother said a lot of real stuff, you know. And I like the fact that he came forward to talk about this. I like the fact that he's putting it out there. A lot of dudes, sometimes they go through their own situations with their gangs, you know, and they don't come out and talk about it. They don't say nothing. And a lot of times people don't get to hear the stories of people who lived a certain life. They don't get to hear the stories of the countless men who kind of like realized that this was a big mistake that they made. They don't get to hear the stories of the countless men who are courageous enough to leave these situations and talk about it. Because everybody that leaves don't talk about it. So it takes a lot of courage to tell people what you've been through, right? So I commend them because it takes a real man to stand on your own, regardless of how other people might feel, right? Regardless of the dangers that might come along with these things, right? Because, you know, when you step away from the gang feels some type of way, and sometimes, you know, it could get deadly, right? So I appreciate the fact that he said that, right? That he's no longer willing to sacrifice himself because these dudes not really gonna ride for him. And this is something that I had to experience myself. Some of us, and you know, the crazy thing about this, before I even go into me and the correlations, right, is that a lot of people gonna come out and call him soft. A lot of people gonna come out and call him a coward. A lot of people are gonna come out and say he's scared. A lot of people is gonna say a whole bunch of things. You know, anytime, I notice this, anytime somebody trying to do something different or do something better. And again, I'm not talking about all the other stuff that this man has done and you know, talking about the dead and making the jokes and whatever. I'm just talking about his life as a gang member and leaving, and that's all I'm trying to talk about. And I'm not, in this moment, I'm just talking about the countless people who leave gangs. They always get talked bad about. Or the countless men who try to do good, who try to go to school, or who try to change their life. They always get talked bad about, right? So this is kind of like what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how in this situation, you know, I think he's doing something good. He's leaving off this negative movement to focus on himself and his family, right? And I think that ain't nothing more gangster than that. Ain't nothing more gangster than leaving off some nonsense, right? An organization of destruction, right? And self-genocide. It's nothing but more gangster than leaving that at whatever odds to focus on yourself and your family. That's real gangster shit. So that's kind of like what I wanted to get to. right? A lot of times these dudes are going to be talked bad about. They're going to be, these people going to try to shame you not to leave, right? They're going to try to make you feel like less than a man. They're going to say all of these things about you because people can't help but to see you grow. They don't like that. If you riding with them and you feeling with them and you don't have no aspirations and no ambitions, they like that for you. They love when you in the hood not getting no money. You know what I'm saying? They love it. They love when you in the hood broke like them. They love it. Same situations used to happen to me, right? I used to go to work. My peoples didn't go to work. And then it was a situation. Like, you know, like not a situation, but like I will go to work. They don't got no jobs, right? And then they always like, yo, why you always going to work? To me, why I'm always going to work? There's money to be made. This is me as a teenager. So people don't like when you just doing things to better yourself. That's just a sickness in our communities. Sad. It shouldn't be happening like that, but it is. But the point is, in my situation too, man, it took for me to go to prison. See, this brother, it's taking him to witness certain things. It's taking him, he's witnessing certain people dying. Certain people probably not moving a certain way. People probably trying to line them up. You know, there's money on his head. You think dudes not going? You think certain dudes in around your circle is not going to take the money, bro? I think it's like 6 figures on this dude head, or maybe 7. You think dudes not going to backdoor you? Come on, bro. Dudes is backdooring dudes in the hood for less. You think dudes not going to backdoor you for 6, 7 figures? He probably seeing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially after that last situation. I don't know what transpired. I can't talk about certain things. But he probably, why he's seeing how these dudes is moving. And it's going to take a lot of other dudes that is in the streets to really see what's going on. See the deceitfulness. Some dudes see it and don't say nothing. They don't even talk about it. And some dudes, it cost them their life. So you never going to hear their story. And some dudes is buried alive in jail. So you never gonna hear their story unless they write a book about it. And the dudes that are out here that leave the streets, they just be either afraid to talk about it, or they just want to be out the way and just don't want no type of backlash behind their statements. But I tell brothers all the time, when I first came out, I worked for an organization. And it was 2 bloods that I used to work with, right? And we used to have these conversations, you know, about how I used to be Crip and et cetera, et cetera. And they was like, you know, well, why you not still part of that? I was like, because I can't be a part of something that has caused so much bloodshed in my community. I can't be a part of something that stands for a legacy of genocide and destruction. I can't be a part of that, right? So what they try to tell me is, you know, the reason why they still say they in the gang or they still blood is because if other bloods see positive members doing certain things, you know, you can shift the narrative. You can change things. And I'm like, that's not how it works, homie. It's not about the work of the few, right? That dictates how the gang is looked at. It's not about the work of the Nipseys and the I don't know who else, like, but it's, you know, we know there's some people like G Herbo be doing a little something, like the little Dirks. It's not about the few people who are doing certain things, right? It's about what are the majority of gang members doing? What is the majority of gangs doing in our communities? Even if you want to run with the narrative that it started for something positive, even though it really didn't, right? Some might be, some gangs probably, right? But other gangs, a lot of gangs did not start for no positivity, right? So anyway, let's just run with that narrative for a second. That it started for positivity. What are they doing today in our communities? What have they been doing for the last 30 years in our communities? Don't tell me what they started for. Tell me what is their track record today. Tell me what they have been doing in our communities that we should be seeing here romanticizing them or talking about them or trying to keep them. Tell me. Don't tell me what they started for. Tell me what they've been doing, right? Same way, don't tell me what they signed certain laws in the new amendments. Don't tell me about the Constitution. Don't tell me about that. Tell me what they doing. Because when you read the Constitution, it sounds beautiful. It looks good. When we hear these stories about, yes, these brothers got together to fight the revolution and the police brutality and to do this, it sounds good. It sounds good, but I don't want to hear no fairy tales. I want to hear what is going on today in our communities. Do you like what's going on today in our communities behind these gangs? Do you like the acts that they commit? Do you like how they kidnap our children and control them? Do you like that? Do you like that? Because if you don't like that, then you should be commending people who leave that lifestyle. We shouldn't be telling them they're weak. We shouldn't be telling them they're soft. We shouldn't be trying to glorify the stupid shit that they was doing. Why we do that? Nah, man. I applaud that man for doing that. He got a daughter. Should have been did that shit. But again, like I said, when you're young, you can't see certain things. It's not even about young. Sometimes you grow up and you can't even see certain things. This dude's out here 45, can't even see. Sad. At 45 years old, you out here still screaming blood, Crip, whatever gang. 45 years old. 45 years old, you out here like trying to hold on to what, homie? At that age, you should already have something to live for. Like at 45, you should be living for something. At 45, you should have something to lose, right? So you out here in the gang, and a lot of dudes is younger than you. And you know, we know younger people don't really like older people telling them shit. You know, it's just, then you might get into a power struggle. You might get into, because there's always some situation gonna come from this lifestyle. It's always gonna be something that's gonna come from this lifestyle. So when I see grown ass men like 45, 40, and you still out here screaming like, yeah, I'm this, I'm whatever. I just be looking at them like, damn, man, you ain't got shit to live for. You ain't got nothing else. Cause somebody that got other shit, family, career, job, like, they not, yo, bro, they don't really got the time to be doing all that shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes are out here, man. Let's look at the work of the majority. Don't look at the few gang members who are doing good things. I commend those brothers. But let's look at what they doing as a whole. Let's look at what the majority is doing. Not don't talk about Nipsey. Nipsey was his own man doing his own thing. He was in the gang, but he was doing his own thing. It's not many of those dudes in the gangs. The gang's not doing that as a whole. Because if they was, our communities would be great. Our communities will be great. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes out here like Lil Durk. Lil Durk is Muslim. Lil Durk talks about Islam. His father is a Muslim. And he says certain Islamic principles. He says certain things in his songs about Islam. He's a Muslim, right? I'm gonna say he's a Muslim. Because he says he's a Muslim, right? But what does Lil Durk mostly talk about? He doesn't mostly talk about Islam. Probably because it's probably not going to sell like that. But at the same time, that's not his main focus. And Allah knows best. But most of the stuff he talks about is gang, gang, gang. We dropped your ops. We smoking on this pack. I wonder how his father feels. I wonder, like, if his father has certain conversations with him, like, yo, son, like, what are you doing? I mean, he can't control him, right? But I'm just wondering, do they have conversations behind the scene, like, son, like, what are you doing? You're a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of people, gang members, who could be very influential. Could be. And I'm talking about more so about artists. Could be. These artists could be using their voice, their platforms, to talk against the gang life. Some of them, you know, some of them might have one message talking about don't join the gang. But then all your other songs, you got a whole album talking about how you smoking packs, how you smoking ops, glorifying it. You confusing the kids. And then the kids is going to do what they're going to do what you mainly talk about. And if you mainly talk about this, then your audience is going to 9 times out of 10 probably go with that. Like, come on, we just got to, it's not rocket science. So let's talk about what you mostly are doing and not the little bit that you do. But we do appreciate the little bit of crumbs that you give and the little messages that come from you about positivity. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. What are y'all thoughts? I think I commend him. I think it was a good thing. I think also it was even better that he came out and spoke out against it, right? So I think that more people should be coming out. More people should be making videos like kind of like the ones I make, to share their experiences, to let people know, man, like it's not It's not glitter, man. Everything that shines ain't glitter, you know. So I think the more people that come out and talk about it, the more we can kind of like again shift the tide. Because the tide right now, the rappers is glorifying it. Like everybody is shaming people who leave the gang. Everybody talking about bad about the people who changing their lives. So this is what we up against. So we just got to make our voices louder. We got to have more people come forward and talk about these things, and then hopefully things will change. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Y'all stay blessed out there. Peace.